me and you did, well, you did it with everybody, but on Wednesday we did a like interview type thing, put it on video, and it was kind of cool. And I learned a lot from that conversation. Just stuff comes out that you don't realize, and then
shout out to Adam Fields, our brother in the chat. He said blessings. What's up, man?
What's up, Adam?
Yeah, I think sometimes just talking about stuff allows you to work through thoughts and ideas that maybe you kind of avoid, especially when you're busy just trying to do things and you're trying to like just get things done. Sometimes you don't have time to really like think about like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing that?
And I think that's something you got to ask a lot. The why. Yeah. We just settle things and then we make it make sense to us, and then we go and do it sometimes, and asking why.
One of the like peak moments was when you kind of came to that epiphany about downplaying how important our music is and what it has done for us, and not feeling comfortable saying that to people, not feeling comfortable like letting people know like, no, this album, this could change your life. Like listening to this could help you.
Yeah, because it's things that are like eternally true. It's what is eternal is gonna last forever. Versus us stuck in the right now. The culture, the idea of that people have in their head, and we talked about this. Like sometimes it's you don't want to deal with having a fight against what people already think and believe. Yeah. But the problem is then you start to think and believe. And you don't even realize you're thinking and believing it, right? So you kind of settle for a lie and then allow it to rule over you. So it actually is in you. You don't realize it. So then, and that's the kind of thing, like we were like devaluing our music because who gives a value? It's not us, it's God, right? But when you do that, you're lying to yourself, right? Because that's not the truth. And then you devalue it. So then when other people are going to devalue it, it's not like you're going to fight. And I don't mean you're fighting them. I mean, like, it's not like you're going to uphold the truth because you don't really believe it, and that's where you get into that. You don't even realize you don't believe. You don't realize you're in unbelief. So then there's no worth there, really. So how can because it's valuable, but you don't really deep inside, when it comes down to it and you're pressured, you kind of fold. You get what I'm saying? Because when you're challenged, when somebody comes at you, like, and you might even know what they're doing, I'll give you an example. Like, oh, you're still in that you're still doing that music thing, or you're still doing that little music thing, like stuff like that. It's like you're still in that band, and if you're just like, yeah, I mean, we're still making music, like, you don't really want to, because you don't want to deal with it. But when there's value there, there's passion there. It's like, yeah, we're doing it because of this, and then you work through it and you're bringing it value because it's valuable. So then that's a fight, but then that's the fight of faith, right? Because you got to trust in what God gave you. If you're trusting in yourself, now you're questioning, well, is it worth it? Should I be doing this? What's the point of me doing this? Is it giving me what I need? So is it for you or is it for others? Like, what do we really believe? Now these things start coming up, right? But if you're not focused on that, you're just settled in a lie and you don't even realize you're there. That was one of the truest things for me that came out of that. And I went deeper at home, like just going through biblical verses and like just getting more out of what we talked about.
That could be some great content,
Yeah, because it's, I mean.
like going into that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, but again, I don't think we realize we think we believe something, but we're actually disconnected from it, like instinctively and eternally. We disconnect ourselves from it just because we don't deep down inside actually believe, but we think we believe. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And it's interesting, like sitting down and talking with all you guys and like asking those kind of tough questions sometimes, but more just like introspective questions, like making you think about stuff that maybe you never even thought about. And I know there's like I said, a lot of people got emotional during their interviews. I even had a moment with Moan where he talked about like the fact that he doesn't sing lead, and going into that and his feelings of being in the band and like why it's so important to him, even though that's not that he doesn't get it, that part of it, and then he hears it from other people. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of thing where it's like
Right.
he's got to deal with other people's mindsets of like, oh, because I told him about the one show we did where he's saying try, and somebody made the joke like, oh, they finally turned your mic on, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, I know that type of stuff bothers you, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, it really doesn't, because like that's not where he gets his value in the band, you know, like being one of this. And he said like one of the things that he said, he's like, yo, I actually get a great feeling watching you and Jake do your thing, like in being able to be like a fan sometimes on stage, because it's not about that. It's bigger than that for us. It's bigger than about like, let me get my shine off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I would do it if it was about that.
Yeah.
You know, the music, again, it helps us. Like, it's not like, we talked a lot about art, you know, artistry and all that, and
craft,
and you can get snobby about that stuff, but really it's about creation. And again, are we creating something eternal? Is it for us or is it for others? You know, and that goes with anything you do. Like that's why people love things, you know. But again, you have to see the worth and the value in it, and you have to be invested in that. And sometimes when you're dealing with preconceived notions, presumptions, right? Which I believe is idolatry, iniquity, which connects to like corrupting the way you see something that comes from God, right? Yeah. It takes it to something else. So everything that's created, whether it's people, whether it's things, whether it's angels, you know, whatever is created, you can focus on that instead of the creator, and then you corrupt the image of it, right? The idea of it, and that's what a lot of people focus on. They're not focusing on the one who made and what was the purpose,
where it comes from, and so then therefore, because if you always think about, okay, yeah, music is amazing, but where did it come from? Why is it here?
What's the purpose?
What's the purpose of it? Yeah, you know, and if you realize all that points back to God, it's like, okay, so it needs to honor that,
right? And even that, like, so when you want to build a relationship with God, then it'll make more sense. There's no way around it. It's not like you can learn all about music. You can learn about like cycle of fifths and you know the theory, music theory, all the stuff, right? And that's kind of like, you can learn about theology, but you'll never have the heart of it if you don't know him, because it came from him, right? And it came from his heart, his desire, right? Yeah. So that's what's missing. You know all about, and that's what people do. We want to know all about something.
But then there's also the misconception that like, okay, but if you're not doing it for the church, if you're not doing it and talking about Jesus died for our sins in your songs, then you're not glorifying God with your music, you know?
Yeah, and that's where things become very, very simplified, right? Like,
and it can also be hijacked, because the devil can write songs about that.
Right. But yeah, you can, again, like you can have, your songs can be theologically sound, but they're wicked because they don't actually bring you to faith, because you don't really believe it, right? The one singing it doesn't really believe it. They just think, this is what I have to do.
This is my vehicle to success.
Yeah.
You saw that with like a lot of the Maverick City stuff and some of these artists that have been getting exposed for what they're really doing, you know?
Yeah, behind the scenes. Or just, this is the thing that I think I have to do that's going to get me into heaven, right? Like even that end, it's like a false virginity type, you know, like the 5 virgins in the Bible, the foolish virgins, like, but they have no oil, right? And that's the part where like, why was everybody, like you were talking to everybody, why were they getting emotional? It's because it's a pressing that's going on. To have oil, it's going to cost you something, but it's not the same payment. Like, it's not like you can buy it with money, right? It's going to cost you surrendering to the one who actually,
you got to get squeezed.
You got to get pressed, you know, and that's how we learn obedience to God. And then we got to face the stuff we've been doing and we think we believe, we actually don't believe. We got to step into the light. Who wants to come into the light and have their deeds exposed for not being true, you know, not being sound? And that's hard, man.
And then beyond that, you have to, now that you see it, you have to move into belief somehow and get yourself to act on that.
Well, you got to trust him and you got to let it go. Cause really, like, everything flows from faith, right? I was thinking about like every wind of doctrine, you know, being moved by every wind of doctrine. So when you listen to the wrong voice, you're listening to the wrong wind, you're listening to the wrong breath, you know, and that's the whole point of us as humans. You know, Adam was a life breathing being. Jesus was a life giving being. Are we receiving? The only thing that's going to give us life is if we receive it from Christ.
Yeah, and the thing is, if we really believe and know the Lord, right? That's the only way. You can't do anything yourself. You know what I mean? It's all knowing the Lord. Because remember what he said. Either he knew you when you stand before him, or I never knew you. Depart from me.
Right.
So you have to know his voice, because there's so many voices around.
Yeah, and it takes time. It takes time to know him. You think you know him.
Oh my God,
and then you realize, oh, I didn't know you there. And why do we think we know him? Because we think we're doing it right. We think we got to figure it out. We think,
or we learned one aspect of things and we think that's everything.
Or we grew up learning, no, this is how God is. We learned bad doctrine, right? And that's wind that came from somewhere else. It didn't come, but it creeped in, you know, and you let it in because you didn't know any better, right? So now if it's a lie, if it's a lie, what's happening? You're actually letting in something false with might be a bunch of truth, but now you're letting in something false, and that can corrupt the truth, right? So now it just gets your focus off just enough that you're not even focusing on God anymore and trusting him. You're trusting in your own ability, or you're trusting in what you think you know, right? No, it's this thing. But if we're honest with ourselves, like we learn to humble ourselves over and over again, be vulnerable. Because what's the point of doing something if it's not the desire, the will, the passion, the purpose of God? There's really no point, really. We can tell ourselves we're doing the thing. You know what I mean? We say that a lot, like with music, like you can be on stage, 20,000 people, you know, people are screaming your name, singing your songs, and you're like, I'm doing the thing. That's not fulfilling, really, you know?
I mean, if it was, we wouldn't see so many people with those lives in misery that we see all the time. We've seen it our entire careers.
Right.
I mean, we work with people now that are big names in the music business that, you know, are what you would consider secular music. But the effect that we've had on them, I mean, I was just riding in the car with him today, and he told me that he was listening to Find My Way and got emotional because he was like, man, that Jake wrote a heck of a song. Like, it's so real, it's so true. Because he is feeling God in that song.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's where I was at, being real with where I was. I mean, when I wrote that, I was at a place where I was seeking the Lord, and I was being real. The stuff that was in me I was allowing to come out of me as I was writing that song. So you have to be in that place to actually hear from God, right? To tap into the Lord. You have to be in a place where you're searching and you're not set on what you think and what you need to do and who you are, you know, all these things. And that was one of the songs. Like all of us, I wrote it, but we all heard it. That didn't come from me. That came from deep inside of me. But I'm saying it was my cry to the Lord, really, you know, and a lot of people related to it.